When we were visiting Pikeville, we could not get out of town without going to Dueling Barrels, Pikeville's own new bourbon distillery. And I'm here with Danny Branham. He's the general manager, master brewer, master distiller of Dueling Barrels. Danny, tell us a little bit about this place.
Well, Alltech Dueling Barrels Brewery and Distillery opened just a year ago. We actually just had our first year anniversary and had a huge birthday bash out on 2nd Street. But Dr. Pierce Lyons and Deidre Lyons, they really wanted to bring something back to Eastern Kentucky and make a difference here. So we have this beautiful $15 million facility nestled right here in downtown Pikeville that helps to drive tourism and grow economic development. When you walk through the doors from Hambly Boulevard, you'll see our beautiful historical timeline, which tells the history of the Irish immigrants into Eastern Kentucky. It tells you about the history of moonshining, the history of the Hatfield-McCoy feud, and then it leads you on up into present day times with some statistics about what the bourbon industry is doing today. And you have the Dueling Barrels Theater. When we were still under construction, I actually watched the electricians drill 400 holes into this ceiling, and they pulled over 400 little fiber optic lights through. And the reason we did that is because of the great attention to detail that Mrs. Lyons puts into every project. She actually wanted to recreate the actual Starry Night on the very first shot that was fired during the Hatfield-McCoy feud.
Wow.
So this is where we make all of our craft beer. You have a typical brewery setup. You have 3 major vessels with a mash tun, lauter tun, and a whirlpool kettle boil. So this is where we brew all those wonderful recipes that make the Dueling Barrels brands, like our Hopfield and McCoy IPA.
How many gallons a day do you brew?
Well, currently we've been producing enough beer to send 20,000 gallons of beer to Lexington.
There you go, Lexington. You can get this.
Yes, yes. You can find these brands at our sister brewery and distillery at Town Branch in Lexington, Kentucky.
Awesome.
When we're not brewing beer and making craft beer, we're distilling. So on this side, we have the beautiful 2 copper pot distillation system.
Wow.
That is typical of the Irish-Scottish distillation methods.
This is not just a set piece, this is the real deal.
This is not a set piece, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. Before we would ever run our wash still, we would create a distiller's wash over on that brew house. We would transfer it over here to this open wood fermenter. We would pitch our yeast, and during tours, our visitors and our customers get to see an active bubbling fermentation happening right here in the wood fermenters.
Nice.
Just like with any good tour, you get to end in the gift shop. So here's our beautifully decorated Tug Fork tasting bar and our Dueling Barrels gift shop.
And you have the Hatfield and McCoy rifle and pistol over here too.
So like I said before, you know, the historical component is a lot about what we do here. It's part of our story. And in doing so, we tell the Hatfield-McCoy story, and we have these beautiful, authentic Hatfield-McCoy guns on display, and we actually have the official peace treaty that was signed between the 2 families back in 2003, which officially ended the feud.
Right, and that's the real deal, that it just ended in 2003.
That's the real deal. Right. Yes, sir, it is.
You are going to be an additional location on the Bourbon Trail.
That's exactly right. So we're currently just waiting for our first bourbon to finish aging. It has to age at least 2 years to be considered a bourbon. Once that comes out late 2020 or early 2021, we can then officially be on the Bourbon Trail. And what's really awesome about that is that we will be moving the Bourbon Trail literally 143 miles east of where it's currently located.
Dueling Barrels here in Pikeville.
Thank you so much.
When you're down here, come visit.
Thank you.